Alright, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to use Ultimaker Cura, the slicing software for taking 3D models and preparing them for 3D printing. So Ultimaker Cura looks like this icon right here. Here's our application. Let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, our program has opened up. This is what our design workspace looks like. I have mine set to dark mode, so it might look a little bit different, but don't worry, it's going to work the same. Whenever we open up Cura, we always want to work left to right. If we start on our left, we see this file icon button. This is our button for importing models into our workspace. So I'm going to open that up and find a model. So here's a model I've created, which is to be used for a part in a door that is broken, but for the purpose of this tutorial, it works just fine. Alright, sticking with our left to right principle, we now see more settings have popped up on the left. You're only going to use these top three: our move settings, our scale settings, and our rotate settings. The reason we'd use move is if we were printing a whole bunch of different models all together, we can actually move them around our workspace using the move tool. What scale allows us to do is make our design bigger or smaller. And third and last, we have our rotate tool. With this, we can rotate our designs around in case we want to print them in different fashions to, say, reduce support. Now, I'm going to talk about support later, but just remember, when our model has overhang, as indicated by this red highlighting, what we have to do is add support. But again, I'll tell you how to do that later. For now, we have our move, our scale, and our rotate. Okay. So we've worked on our left, we're going to move to the right. In the lab, we have two types of printers. We have Ultimaker 2 Plus Connect, we have Ultimaker S5. You can ignore this Creality Ender 5, we do not have those in the shop. Once we have the correct printer loaded, we can move on down to the right. When using the Ultimaker 2 Plus Connect, we don't have to worry about our material, as we always have our printer set to use generic PLA. This brings us to our settings here. For your print settings page, it'll likely look like this. These are the recommended settings for Cura. We have four main settings in our print settings. For Cura, we have resolution, which determines how fine each layer of our model is going to be. So for this small model, I'm going to hit fine. Next, we have our strength, where we can adjust the percentage infill, density, the infill pattern, as well as the thickness of our walls on the outside, the top, and the bottom. Now, like I said, we're going to have to add support. When you see a highlighted red zone on your model, it means that that piece of your model is unsupported. What we have to do is hit turn on support. We have two types of support, normal and tree. We're going to start with normal, we're going to start with everywhere, and we're going to hit slice. So I'll talk about adhesion after, but I just want to show us the difference in normal versus tree support. When we're done with our settings, we hit slice, and it's going to convert this into what's called G-code, which is a file format that our printer can read. In the top here, we have three tabs. We've been working in our Prepare tab, but now that we've sliced it, if we hit Preview, it'll actually show us all of the different lines and parts that are going to make up our model. And as we can see, it's added all of this blue part underneath here to support our overhang. Okay, I'm going to show you what happens when we hit tree. So keep in mind what that looked like. Let's slice this one more time. But with tree, here we see a much different looking support system. Instead of being fully printed from the ground up, it actually starts in these larger trunks and branches off like a tree would to support different points of our overhang. So that's the difference between normal and tree. I generally find tree is easier to get off of our model, but it's up to you which one you want to try out. Go back to our Prepare tab. The last setting I'm going to talk about is adhesion. And essentially whether we turn adhesion on or off depends on what model we're using. For this very small model, it might be a good idea to turn adhesion on if you're worried about it breaking free from our print bed mid-print and messing up. So I'm going to leave adhesion on. Let's go back to our preview. What adhesion does when it's turned on is it adds these extra rings on the ground. So the extra rings on the print base is adhesion. These extra tree trunks is our tree type support. Okay, so that's it for all of the settings. If you're happy with all of our settings here and our time and everything, all you have to do is hit save to disk, or when you plug a USB in, it'll hit say save to removable drive. Once you've saved it to a USB, you can take it over to the printer, plug it in, and hit print. So that's it for our basic Cura tutorial here. I will be posting a few others talking about some advanced settings at some point, but this is enough for you to get started.